Now, I did mention the digital dominance method. There are a lot of pieces to this. I encourage you to go check out our WTMarketingpros.com/training for all the different things that you could be doing. Learn more about each of those and how they all work together to really build a system, build a machine that is really generating leads ongoing. So, all right, now I know I need to do all these things. Let me jump back. Brent says, knowing what customers should be asking you. The should ask questions are awesome. Those are really going to separate you from all the other competitors in town. That's a good one. All right, 2024 plan, lots of things you could be doing. Now, if in all of this, if there's just one thing you're like, Will, there's no way that we can do all these things. It's just to go from 0 to 100 would be insane. What is one thing that we could do that would really help our business start moving in that right direction? My answer to that would first of all be content. So start to build content. And as Brent mentioned, should ask questions. I don't know how many should ask questions can you come up with. Each of those could be a blog on your site. Hey, you really should be asking, does such and such do this, right? Those kinds of things are content that you could create. If you're comfortable with video, then making videos is going to set you apart even further. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the US, and it just happens to be owned by the #1 search engine in the US, Google. So, video is a fantastic way to create content. But there are a lot of things you could do. But if there was one thing, I would say start putting consistent content on your website. We do have training on this as well, how to create a content engine for your business. The other thing I would mention here is right now, our clients are 60 to 70% of their leads are coming from Google My Business, now called Google Business Profile. If you don't have that set up, go get it set up like today, google.com/business. Get that set up. Get your hours in there, get some pictures loaded into the photos area. Make sure that all the questions are answered. If you're woman-owned or veteran-owned or any of these special attributes, make sure those things are in there as well. This is a big piece of getting leads in 2024. And then start getting reviews. Once you have that set up, make sure that you have a system in place that you can ask for reviews every time the install is done. Now, for our clients, we buy every one of our clients these little business cards that just have a logo on one side. On the other side, it's a QR code, and it says, would you mind leaving us a review? That QR code goes straight to their Google Business Profile, where that customer standing in the living room, install just got done. Mrs. Jones is over the top. She's excited about her new drapes. Hey, Mrs. Jones, would you mind shooting the QR code on there and leaving me a review? Best time to get the review is while you're standing there in the living room. Now, it's not always the most convenient, or perhaps your installers aren't the most technically savvy people in the world. I mean, the QR code's pretty straightforward nowadays. Everybody understands that. You could offer your installers an incentive, $25 for every review that comes in. You can't incentivize the person leaving the review. So you can't say, Miss Jones, leave me a review and I'll send you a $25 Applebee's card. You can't incentivize them, but you could incentivize your installers to ask Miss Jones for those reviews. You're not going to get them if they're not asking, right? So getting that piece in place, I think, would really help a lot. Start getting those reviews. It's really the social proof beyond that is incredible. What about social media? Social media is one of the 12 in the digital dominance method. It's not the answer, but it is one of the things that you should be doing. Is it something you should be doing early on? No, not at all. Social media tends to be more based around one of the touches that is required for a customer to convert, but probably not the first one. And a lot more around brand recognition, I think. Once you've got your SEO, your paid ads, you've got all these things kind of running really well, social media is a fantastic add-on to really enhance all of those things, but it's not step number one, not at all. I think a lot of business owners think that's what they need to be doing first is social media, and they're most likely not seeing good returns from it. All right, paid ads, another thing here I did want to mention. Paid ads and SEO work together. So the two work differently from each other. Together, they generate a nice amount of leads. Pay-per-click ads can get up quickly. They'll get ramped up right away. They'll start showing quickly, whereas SEO can take 4 to 6 months, right, before it really starts to kick in. So you need to have both pieces running. What we see with a lot of our customers is there becomes a time when SEO finally starts to ramp up and you're getting a decent amount of leads from SEO, which is search engine optimization, or you're just ranking for window treatments near me, those kinds of searches, right? 50% of those start to come in, and at the same time, you've got your pay-per-click budget going. There becomes a point when both of those are starting to cross over each other. We see 50% of our clients will pull back on their paid ads because the SEO is really starting to work well, or 50% of our customers will just say, "What? Keep the paid ads running for the terms we're not ranking for, and we'll just start to really dial it in and double down on the amount of leads that we're getting." So just different ways to kind of deal with this, but that's the best scenario, is having both running, and then at some point having the luxury of being able to decide between the two. That's pretty awesome. So, all right, benefits of using the correct media. This means you're fishing in the right pond. You're fishing in a pond that's hungry. You already know what bait to use when it comes to the message that we talked about earlier. What to do. Gives you an opportunity to look bigger than you are. Gives you an opportunity to look more cutting edge because you're speaking directly to those people on the platform that they're using to engage with you on. So, all right, top 3, page 14 of the workbook. This is the big, what are we going to do for this year in order to hit those goals that we talked about earlier? Put those in there on page 14. Make sure you put those in and make sure that you've got those goals written out.